Welcome back to another episode of How Do We Get Here with me, Kevin, as your host, aka him over there, or whatever you know me as. We have one of my beautiful friends and business owners. Who let the people know who you are.
My name is Bianca Garrett. I am the CEO and founder of Bluprint Solutions, Inc. Yes.
Okay. So you are what? I know you said you're a financial specialist that specializes in
Credit repair.
credit repair.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you get into that?
Well,
'Cause that's a very very wide field and
yes. Um, so I started back, I would say, about 3 years ago. I lost my job with Oracle. I was working as an integration analyst there, and then COVID happened. Um, and so, once I lost my job, I knew like I needed to get my credit repaired. Luckily I had like my apartment already and things like that, but needless to say, I looked at my credit and it was at a 520.
okay.
And I was like, what does this mean? What is this? Why is it like this? Like I had no clue why.
Right.
I had a lot of medical bills. Like I would say it was like a lot of medical collections from my motorcycle accident in
Right.
2019. They never notified me about it. It was just really weird. I had a vehicle as well that was paid off, and that I thought was paid off, but the bank told me I owed $10,000, and I'm like, no, I don't. Like I gave you guys literally the last payment,
Yeah.
and I argued with them, and it was like not going anywhere. I hired an attorney to help me with my credit and everything, and they weren't able to do it. So I started. I took a class, and I started repairing my own credit. I was able to learn consumer law. I learned Metro 2 disputing, FTC reports, things like that. I had to get into that. I learned what the CFPB was, things like that. It was a lot. And then I started to repair my own credit.
Okay.
And I brought myself from a 520 to an 815.
Damn.
I know.
Oh, I had to hit you with the Kevin Hart. Oh, Jesus. Whew.
And
So,
after that, I started to like really enjoy it because I learned about inaccuracies and errors and things like that that's on people's credit reports. About 80% of them have errors on their reports. So
okay.
I started repairing my friends and my family's credit for free, just kind of like because I thought it was fun. It was really nice to see my friends and my family be able to afford the things that they wanted to do, or even just go after the goals that they,
I should have hopped on the boat when she was doing it for free.
Man, a lot of people say that, but that's kind of where it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pretty much, in the process of learning how to help yourself, you started helping other people.
Correct.
And at
Yes.
what point did you do? What point did you start make that a business? Because a lot of people don't realize, never get to that point. They do something that they love to do, and they're doing it for free,
Absolutely.
not realizing there's money to it. So at what point did you decide to make it into a business? Because I'm not gonna lie, just random side note. When you were saying those names, I learned consumer law. I learned this. You make me want to go look up those terms, and now I understand. Like as a
Yes.
photographer, when I say f stop is this, and I see the look on their face like, what the fuck is the f
What
stop?
the hell is that?
So I'm just
Yeah.
random. You had me in that moment like,
Yeah.
FTC, what? I'm gonna look that up because now I want to. But so what made you make it into an actual business? What would your like? Do you have like a moment or something that happened?
Yes. Luckily, I had a mentor. I have a mentor. His name is Chris.
Okay.
And I had, like I said, I was in my mood. I was in my mode. I had bought my house. I had bought my car. I got like 100,000 in credit cards. I was like, oh, I'm chilling. I'm big chilling. I was in my glow.
Yeah, glow. You got it.
And I'm laying in a bed, in the new house, chilling, and my mentor, he called me at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, get up. And I'm like, well, what? He's like, yeah, you had your fun. He's like, I see you got your house, you got this, you had fun. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. He's like, get up, then you finna start your business. And I'm like, can we do this in the morning? He's like, nah, we finna do it right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah. And I went and I got my laptop, and in 2 hours, I literally formed my business. I set up everything in 2 hours. some stuff I still had to wait for, of course.
Yeah,
like,
of course, yeah.
articles had to come, things like that. But I pretty much started the process on everything in 2 hours.
You
And
got
that's
started.
when Bluprint Solutions was born.
That's the birth date.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. It's even one thing I always say is I'm proud. I'm proud of you because it's I always see people say, "Yeah, I started a business."
Yeah.
That's and not in a negative way, but that's the easy part. It's growing a business that's the
hard.
part. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's easy. You technically can start and get filed for your LLCs, your paperwork, and all that shit in 2 hours, and birth your business in 2 hours. But holler at me a year, 2 years down the line, like, and it's like even with me being one of your close friends, I've watched you go through that. Like even from when you hit me up, even before you started that, you had it in you. And I don't even know if you noticed you had it in you because you had hit me up. Yeah, let's start a business together. It's the only thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell we were gonna do. I was like, I want to do something.
I want to do
Oh,
something.
it was for the photo shoot booths, the photo booths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
I remember that.
Then we had something with like kid trucks for rentals and parties and all that. But you had that in you, so it's sometimes God does your gift will always make a room for you.
Correct.
And you had that in you to, and I even remembering you before. It's like, man, I'm this fucking job and all this
over it.
And
not knocking it, but it just I'm a mom of a crazy 5-year-old, a crazy lovely 5-year-old, and I didn't have that much time for him.
Yeah.
I had like 2 hours a day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night with my son because of my work schedule.
Yeah.
And so it was just really difficult, It was hard because his teachers essentially saw his, they saw his first steps. They saw his, his first word, or they heard his first words, and that bothered me. That's always bothered me.
Yeah. And that's the one thing about jobs. They pay you to forget about your dreams. Even it's like between your jobs and not knocking educating yourself, but the traditional schooling system, it's really one of the worst things they do to families because it's like between as a parent working a full-time job, then a kid going to school for 8 hours and then getting 4 or 5 hours of homework when they come home. You literally, like even like you said, you give your child to the system, so the teachers are the ones that's putting more into your child than you are. They're the ones watching the first step. They're the one hearing the words. They're the one telling them about the world. Because, but if you're working at eight hours, you just working 8 hours. That's not counting the prep time, plus the get home time.
Right.
So you're really dedicating 12 hours. Then it's like between them having, by the time you get to high school, grade school and high school, they're having 4 hours of homework. Neither one of y'all have time to even, hey son, what's on your mind? Hey, what? I know you got the TikTok. What's to deter? So, at what point or how was it? Because I know you're full time, but I know at one point you quit your job. So how was that, or what finally made you say, man, fuck it, I'm done?
Ooh, and my mentor is gonna laugh when he sees this part because I was at this point, because I told you I lost the job with Oracle, and then I ended up finding another one. Literally, I started my business July 2022, and then I ended up getting another job at another company the next month. I don't know if you remember what I told you about.
No, I remember. Even I was like, "What the fuck you do that for?" It's like
I was scared, okay? I'm like, okay, I just started this business, and the launch day was amazing. For new entrepreneurs, your launch day is very, 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 very important, okay? So that is extremely important. But it was very successful, but a job ended up calling me like that next month and was like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, sure. It was like paying like 80 grand, I'm like, sure, yeah. And I got to work from home 2 days out of the week. And it was like down the street from my kids' school. So I was like, I'll do it. So I was working both. And it got to a point where I noticed my business started like, taking a back seat. And I'm like, no. And I was doing both for like literally 100% both. And that was very hard. I was taking calls on the clock, all types of stuff. And for about 3 months straight, I would say, I kept saying to my mentor, I'm gonna quit. He's like, well, do it then. Hell, like I'm like, oh, I'm scared.
He
And
said, I'm tired of hearing. I'm tired of your shit.
He's like, well, when you gonna do it? You know.
Shout out to you, Chris.
That's I know.
One, right?
Yes.
Shout out to you, Chris.
And,
go ahead. Because I told her the same shit. She ain't
even my even my coworkers, even my boss knew that I had a business. I didn't know. They knew. And the day I quit, I had sent in I gave them my 2 weeks notice or whatever, which is pointless, by the way. Don't do that with jobs. Gave them a 2 weeks notice.
I'm gonna tell you I'm gone.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the vice president pulled me in the office with him, and I was scared. I'm like, what the hell you pulling me in here for? And he's like, so, what's your plan? What you gonna do? And I said, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm, just gonna wing it. He's like, oh, Bluprint? What you gonna do with Bluprint? And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like,
you know?
He's like, you think I don't see you dipping off into the offices taking consultations? I'm like, how do you know this? But they were even proud that I quit, and I started focusing on my business. And the day I walked out, I called Chris. Of course, I call him with everything. I called Chris and I said, I did it. He's like, what? I said, I quit. He's like, let's get to work.
Yeah.
That's when he was just like, let's get to work. And Chris is like the coolest person ever. He literally he's so calm about stuff, so nonchalant. He just like, all right, let's get to work. Now it's the real work. Yeah. And I was like, damn, you excited or not? Or what's
up? I understand that. Even I understand. All right, cool. Now we can work.
Now we can work.
It's like,
and ever since then, I will say my first month starting my business, I was lucky enough to start off making $10,000 a month. Well, $10,000 the first month, and then my business took a dive because I was working. And then once I quit my job, it's just been steadily increasing. So it went from 10K months to 20K months to 30K months to 40K months, and now we're on a road to 100K months. So yeah.
Oh, Jesus, y'all. That's
thank you.
But what was the one thing, because I know I always say as entrepreneurs, everyone wants to say, you get to work for yourself full time because they feel like you have more time, but in actuality we trade 40 hours a week to work 100-hour weeks, because it's like, so how was adjusting that and getting that work-life balance for you?
I will say that's the mistake I made, thinking I have more time. And that's not the case. I would say it's very hard. That's something that I'm still struggling with. Like I'm only 3 years in, so I'm like a teenager in this entrepreneur game.
Are we using that reference? You're technically like a toddler.
Like a toddler then. Okay.
Yeah, but toddlers do a lot of shit. Not to disrespect your, because I'm putting all respect on your name. But if you're gonna say teenagers, technically, how many 3-year-old teenagers you know? But
oh my god. Okay. Well,
I'm just saying. It's
okay,
like,
right. We put it in that perspective.
Toddlers.
Okay, I'm definitely a
shit.
toddler in this game, trying to figure it out. Because I've lost friendships over this, right? Because I don't have time to go out anymore. I don't have time to kick it, right? Because I might have, a full book day of consultations starting at 8 a.m. But my friends want to go out to the club, right? Like, I can't go.
At some point that don't even interest you no more.
Correct. Like now I'm out. It's been times where I've been out and I'm in my phone answering clients.
Be out
checking emails.
You be out enjoying yourself, and you like, I'd much rather be at home.
I'd much rather be at home because hey, I can look at this account really quick, way faster on my computer than on my phone right now. So like, it definitely interferes with my personal life. It has, but honestly, I still wouldn't trade it, because if your friends care about you, if they love you, they want to see you succeed, they're willing to make those sacrifices with you in your transition, which I think you can attest to that as my friend. You know,
and see, that's why it's usually your circle, your friend circle is a mirror image of me, a mirror image of you.
Correct.
Even it's like, I even with my friend circle, I can put a group of my closest friends in a room, and it'd be okay because it's like there's something about each one of these people that I connect with. So it's like collectively connect together, and it's like with me and you making that reference. I'm one of the friends that if your friends are 9 to 5ers, their minds are programmed different, which is no shade to any of my friends or any of your friends.
Right.
It's just we're programmed different.
Right.
So it's like they don't understand because when you have a 9 to 5, once you go home, you don't have to think about nothing about that job until you got to clock back in.
Correct.
But it's like when you work for yourself, it's rough, and it's like you have to check yourself. That's one thing, even a tip I always give to any entrepreneurs, especially starting, build your systems early. Build your structure early. Yes. It's like even for yourself, like give yourself a checklist of things that you do on a daily basis. Because even when it comes to hiring, it's like you have to be able to tell people what to do. But in order to tell people what to do, you have to document what you do, like every step you take. And
organization is
key.
It's key.
But even just to before I go off in a tangent as we do, it's like I understood it because it's like as an entrepreneur, I know how it goes.
Right.
And I went through that where it's like, man, you don't text back or you don't do this. I'm like, they don't see in the middle of you texting me, I'm talking to 3 different clients, or I'm trying to knock out these edits, or I'm trying to work out a plan. So it's like your hey text doesn't get through all the other noise of this person reaching out. I need to get. They have a deadline for their we slightly different things, but same field. They have a deadline for their pictures because they have a business that they need to promote for their business cards, or even it's like when I shoot entertainers or dancers, whatever you want to call them, they need these pictures for flyers, or it's this girl's birthday tomorrow and she booked last minute. So it's like I'm balancing all these things and within my business on top of still being a dad and unfortunately I'm not custodial, but it's like that's still something I have to make time for. Or on top of I have my mother, she's in her 70s, so it's like she might need something.
Correct.
On top of I'm dating, so it's like all these people. So it's like if you just saying hey, just say hey. It's like hard. It's hard. It's like any of my friends I know if you need to talk, I'm still your friend, but FaceTime me, call me, because at this point my friends know my schedule.
I would say especially when you're first starting your business out. So like for any new entrepreneurs and things like that, it's going to be a transition for not only you but your family and your friends. Yeah. Whereas you were able to sit on the phone and talk about the latest whatever that's going on, you may not be able to do that now. So
sometimes you don't even care to.
Sometimes you don't care to, and you still have to seem semi-interested. So it's a transition, I would say, for everyone, right, as a collective. And I would say allotting time slots for things. So versus kind of just going about your day, time slots have helped a lot too. So from 8 a.m. to 9, you may check your emails, from the day before, Then from 9 o'clock to 11, you're doing something else. This could be consultations, or this could be photo editing, anything like that. Then you get a lunch. Yeah. Okay. And then you may do something else, you just allotting time slots. And even I started getting up a little bit earlier, so like 5, 6 in the morning.
Now you understand why I'm up.
Now I get it. It's tough, but I started getting up at 5, 6 in the morning, and what I started doing is meditating. Yeah. I come down to my office space, and I made my workspace.
Which
fun.
Side note, we're in this beautiful beautiful office, but go ahead.
Yes, I made my office space really relaxing, really inviting, really warm, so that when I come down here, it doesn't feel like I'm just working. Yeah. It comes and it feels like an inviting environment. Everybody who comes in are like, ooh, I love it. It's so, it's warm. It's this, it's that. And this is where I come to meditate, 5 in the morning. I didn't meditate so hard, child. I didn't fell asleep. I learned how to meditate and just relax. And I would say as an entrepreneur, a new entrepreneur, that's going to be really important. Your mental health. I'm starting therapy. Yeah. Because part of my job is not just credit repair. I'm a therapist too. I have helped whole marriages, by the way. So it becomes draining. So therapy, I would say anybody who's interested in credit repair, eventually you're going to need therapy.
Yeah, because
It's tough. Yeah.
even it's like a
Yes.
quote. The quote that I'm all about the quotes.
Correct.
It's a
Yeah.
quote that from Hannah Shabar. It's like learn to choose mental health over old attachments.
Correct.
And
Yes.
sometimes old negative attachments, or even not even negative, old attachments can have a bad thing on your mental health.
Yes.
Because if you still attached to
Mm-hmm.
keeping up with this reality TV or what's going on social media, that's not good for your mental health, because you're concerning. You have a business, you have a life, if we have kids, husband, wife, you're taking attention away and time away from them to worry about people that probably got I don't say got more money than you, but got money and living their life, and half that shit is fake. And you put energy into that to keep up with these people.
And sometimes you have to learn to, I've learned this, like sometimes you have to learn when to let the relationship go because they're not grasping your new life.
Yeah.
They're not grasping or understanding that, hey, I can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, so instead sometimes, or I can't do this anymore, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes you are going to have friends that aren't going to understand that.
Yeah.
Instead, they cause more chaos in your life than helping. So sometimes you have to say, you know what, it's probably best that I kind of just fade into the black, a little bit. And like you said, it's important to let go of old attachments
for your mental health.
Because it will drive you crazy, because then you start thinking, is there something wrong with me? Am I thinking that I'm too good? Is something wrong? You start thinking things like that. I will say that's what I thought, right? I'm like, okay, am I starting to feel myself? Is that what it is? But no, I didn't have the energy to do that. I don't have time to talk about what's going on with Blueface and Krishan.
Oh my God.
I don't have time because, dude, I have a client that has to close on a house in 30 days, and I have to ensure that their credit stays where it is, or else they're not going to get their house. So that is a bigger issue to me.
I was just severely triggered because I forgot all about them, because Blueface has been locked up. So
oh man, oh well, yeah.
Pray for that man, but I forgot about you. I was just
sorry.
I'm so.
I know that's a little PTSD. That whole
oh
thing
my
going
God!
on.
But I'm gonna pray for both those people. We're not here to down anybody and what they're going through. But how has it affected your, I'm not sure if you're with somebody, but how has it affected your romantic relationships or your partnerships?
I would say initially it was tough, right? Initially it was tough because it was like, I didn't have any boundaries, right? I was always coming into the office on Sundays and till 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and initially it was tough, but after a while, your partner has to understand, right? Or if you have an understanding partner, they will kind of just adjust. Yeah. So instead of being, combative when it comes to your business, they start to operate within your time frame, saying hey, it's Sunday, get out of that office, you're not going in there, right? Or instead, if we're watching a movie and a client calls, and he'll say, hey, you're not taking that call right now, it's 11 o'clock, even though I know this client works overnight, they can't text me in the morning times. But just having a supportive partner is very, very, very important when you're in a relationship and you are starting a business. Yeah. And eventually just hang on, I would say hang on to that, try to go through the little trials that you have. And
especially
then
if the person is worth it, because B. Simone, she had mentioned, it's been a while back, about how she can't date a man that works a 9 to 5, and she caught so much flack for it. But anybody that's an entrepreneur understands her. They understand her, yeah. It's like I say, you have the freedom to go off when you go somewhere when you want to. You have the freedom to build your own schedule. And sometimes people that work a 9 to 5, even just like friendships, they won't understand it. It's like one of my favorite interviews was it's been I think it's 2015. It's a while ago, but it was Dame Dash on The Breakfast Club when he was like, man, having a job is like calling another grown man Diddy. It's like, man, Diddy, can I go out of town this weekend? Or hey, my mom's in the hospital, can I go spend a day with her? That's what it's like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that's the freedom, that's the exchange. Even though we may work more longer hours through the week,
Yes.
it's an exchange for our freedom because you can.
Correct.
I know you had mentioned before, like you can't say I'm going to Florida this weekend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
At your
Because that's what I was going to be doing this weekend.
yeah,
And then you called. And it was like, hey, can you do an interview real quick? And I'm like, I guess I'll postpone the trip.
and I appreciate you because it's you chose little old chubby me over Florida.
But that I will say, like you do once again, don't exchange. Don't think starting a business gets you more time.
Yeah, no.
It does not get you more time. It gets you more freedom to do what you want. So
with your time.
Because I can choose to work 100-hour work week, or I can choose to go on a 2-week vacation.
Yeah. Of course, you'll have. Of course, it's and you can let your clients know, or even if in your situation, I know you have mentees and you have employees.
Correct.
You can let them know because, like I said earlier, you've established your structure and your systems.
Yes.
So you know if you off in Barbados, because you know we talking big trips. We ain't talking Miami. We ain't talking LA.
We over Miami.
We overseas.
We overseas. You got to get that passport.
You got to get that passport. You got to get a special phone so you can talk to people on land.
The big brick one.
The big brick one. All that shit.
With the long antenna.
Hello. Hey. It's not important. Click. But it does buy more freedom. But so that's the thing. Even sometimes, even me personally, I understand to. Referring back to our good queen B. Simone, it's like I understood it because it's like even me, it's hard for me to date somebody that works a job because it's like our time is different. It's like we have different concepts of time. It's like
but your girl also, she has a business as well, right?
Yeah.
So how is it with an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur mash up?
I'm gonna correct the woman I'm dating because I don't want her to. You out here claiming me on your podcast. But the woman I'm dating, yes, and sometimes it's a balance. It's a balance. It has its pluses and negatives. It's a balance act because we both do run our own businesses. We both, and she has several titles. That's her business to tell. But she has several titles that's consuming. Even sometimes she'll tell me her like to-do list or a task list or a job description. I'm like, damn, Jesus, that's a lot. Yeah. But it's like, but at the same time, I tell her mine, and it's like, she be like, damn, you do a lot. But I'm so used to it. But even that, it sometimes gets difficult because we both do on our own time and we do enjoy what we do. Right. It's like it's easy to choose work because we enjoy work. So it's like, that's one thing we're working on. Actually setting aside time, like no, this day is just us day. Whether we go out, have a date day, or we just lay in this bed and watch movies. And it's like we had one a couple of weeks ago, like just one of those days where it was really no work, no nothing. We just literally sat in the house, and I put on movies that she hasn't seen, and it was one of the best days ever because neither one of us was thinking about work. We were fully
committed to one another.
Committed to one another. It wasn't. Even it's like just and we're not like super under each other. So we're just in the same room. She'll be on this side, I'll be on this side, doing what I'm doing. She doing what she's doing. And sometimes I'll come over.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, just let me like say lay on your thigh. It'd be like 10-15 minutes. All right, I'm out.
Right,
and
back to work.
Back to work. But we were into each other. The kids were taken care of, all that shit. But that's one thing. It's sometimes dating an entrepreneur is harder too because it's like it is a lot to do. Yeah. And sometimes you actively have to know I'm gonna spend.
You gotta find balance in all of the chaos.
Work-life balance is a motherfucker. Yes. It's and I feel like you never really necessarily find it. It's just it's a constant like pendulum. Just like when you're driving. You don't hold the wheel straight the whole time. Right. If you pay attention when you're driving, you slowly adjust it. Correct. So I guess that's a dope ass metaphor. It's like driving a car. You're constantly adjusting your wheel, even if it's slight tweaks, just so you might miss a hole or just so you can stay between the lines, or because you just let go of your wheel, it'll go everywhere.
Right.
So you gotta keep one hand on the wheel, and sometimes when shit get rough, you gotta put both them bitches on the wheel and
Take
control
control.
it. Cause like sometimes that's the thing is even with being with somebody, life gonna hit you, and sometimes life might hit your partner harder. So you gotta step in. All right, let me. How can I support you?
Yeah.
And then sometimes vice versa.
I've seen that plenty of times in my industry, where there's this big
Because you
discussion.
work with money too, and it's
I
like
work with money,
a lot of
right?
relationships break up over
A
money.
lot. I would say majority of the time, and then once the divorce does happen, a lot of the other person that one person takes the hit majority of the time.
Yeah.
You know, because it might be a partner that just completely said whatever, and but the house might be in a woman's name.
Yeah.
And the man just, they divorce, and he's like, whatever, and he stops paying, and she can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
To keep up with that. And so a lot of my clients, women, men, whatever, I tell them all the time when they're about to go into a home with someone, especially if they're coming with like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife, I usually have my consultations separate. And even if I do have them together, this is a conversation I will have with my clients. Find a house that goes off of one of your incomes. Never do it where it's just because you both make $10,000 a month combined does not mean go and get, a house that is an insane amount of money, that's going based off of both. No, you go off of a $5,000 budget. That's for one person. Okay, because when S hits the fan, and you break up or have something that happens, that one person is not going to be able. Right, one person loses their job. Something like that. It don't even have to be a breakup. A person loses their job. Now all of a sudden, you're being hit really hard. The other thing I tell my couples that are going into purchasing a home, don't put both of y'all names on the house. Because once again, COVID happens. Some type of pandemic like COVID happens. You both lose your jobs. Now both of y'all credit is shot at the same time. Whereas if it's in one person's name, let that one person credit get shot, and y'all can work on this other person and recover using your other partner.
See,
and then we can work on yours simultaneously while not losing, because we're using your credit at this point. Like if you're gonna or your money or whatever the case may be. Like
a lot of couples gonna have problems with that. Like who
but they do. But that's an ego thing.
Yes.
And no shade, but it's typically the men that have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want a woman to put, It's like, dude, this is your partner.
Yeah.
Don't look at this person as just a woman or just a man. This is your partner.
Yeah.
And if you're going in with that mindset, now you need to question whether or not you're even a partner.
Yeah.
Because once again, when ego starts getting in the way, you're not thinking as a partner.
Yeah.
Okay? You're thinking as an individual. And I've had to have those rough conversations, because I don't just do consultations, right? Where I'm just like, hey, this is what's on your credit. Okay, I can fix it. All right, give me your money. Okay, bye. No. This is a complete service where I'm a therapist. I'm telling you about your credit. I'm telling you how to maintain your credit. We talk about whatever is currently going on, because your mental health is a direct correlation with how well your finances are.
Yeah.
The moment, if you think about it, anything bad that's happened, like people lose family members, right? Or people go through things that can be mentally draining, relationship issues, whatever it is, the very first thing to take a hit typically is your finances.
Yeah.
So you stop paying on things or whatever, and so I tell people all the time during my consultations, I ask, how are you mentally? How are you today?
Yeah.
And they be like, oh, I'm good. I'm like, no. How are you today?
Yeah.
Because some people will just say, I'm good, just to say I'm good. Because it's natural. I've caught myself. I do that with you, right? Yeah. How are you today? I'm good. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm not okay.
I'm the friend that know. I know you're an entrepreneur. You're not okay. I'm calling to talk to you as a friend. I don't need nothing from you. Don't give me the bullshit answer. Nigga, how are you?
How are you?
And
I love asking I build relationships with my clients because they need it.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, I don't want to say it like this, but having bad credit is stressful.
No, it is very stressful.
Because they can't get their houses, or they can't get their apartments, or
Even a
they got
simple,
kids
you
and
can't
they
get a
need a
car.
car, right? And I'm like, I've had clients where I'm just like, dude, this car was $15,000 and you're paying $700 a month.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't have financial issues. We just lack financial discipline.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we lack the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I would say, yeah, I went off and on a tangent, but yeah.
No, it was a great tangent, but
Yeah.
even like you said, it's a lot of ego that goes into especially from men. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we wanna feel like we got everything, and it's like we'll hear the narratives of, like, even if you sat down and told me, yeah, we should put if I had a wife, or when I get a wife,
Mm-hmm.
let me speak manifestation. A lot of men, it's like when I put in her name, it's we
No,
we
he
pay
can
attention.
always go on a deed,
Yeah, but even
or vice versa.
a lot of that is social media.
Yes.
It's like because we have this rhetoric and blase
Mm-hmm.
about, man, a man should be this, man should be that, which we're not gonna go. But that's what that is. But
Mm-hmm.
back to you,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll go off on tangents, and
Yes.
social media, we don't do that. We're not as social as you think. We focus on our business. But what are some of the pitfalls, if any of you face being a woman in business? Because I know sometimes
Mm-hmm.
if I react a way, then you react the same way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times society call me a boss and call you a bitch, respectfully.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what are some of the pitfalls or advantages?
Yeah. Okay, so some of the pitfalls as I was starting, I will say, is getting people to respect me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was transitioning from being this Instagram model type, right?
Yeah.
That had the typical look, pretty, curvy, things like that. And so,
random touch point of that. You had and still have a fan base. It's like people knew we were friends, and it's we gonna get back to that. I'm sorry, but it was a guy I went to grade school with him. I haven't seen him in at least 15 to 20 years.
mm-hmm.
He seen me randomly at a gas station out west, like, hey kid, it's me, so and so. It's like, oh yeah, what's up, bro? Man, you be shooting I ain't gonna say yo
Honey Colombo.
Yeah, you be shooting Honey Colombo. I love him. I'm like, I think I called you like, hey,
Yeah,
this nigga is, you got fans, like, I ain't talked to this nigga in 20 years. And he knows me because I was friends with you, but
yeah.
Okay, you said you had to get your respect. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I
so
did.
funny.
But, instead of me looking at that as like, because I think people were like, is she serious?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, people got to get past that part, right? I had endured like men kind of setting up consultations, or even some women that would set up consultations just to have a conversation with Honey Colombo, right? Yeah, and I had to literally check it publicly, video. Hey, we're not doing that. You need your credit repaired, I can help you. If you need to start a business, I can help you. If you need to, understand budgeting, things like that, I can help you. But I am not here to have a conversation with you about coming to a party that you want to host, that you want me to host. Like, I'm not here for that. I love all of my fans, whatever. Like, I adore them, but let's make sure your credit is right too. We can talk about whatever you want, but let's make sure that your credit and your goals are where they need to be. So that was a tough, or a pitfall, I would say, with first starting my business. But instead of me looking at it in a negative aspect, I turned that into a positive one, where I used my fan base to kind of get me to where I needed to go, right?
Yeah.
So instead of me hiding myself and saying like, oh, I don't want nobody to think this, I use it for my advantage, to my advantage. So I'm in rooms that I never thought I would be in. And when I open my mouth, everyone is like, oh my God. Like, initially I was offended by it, right? Where people were like, "Oh my God, I had somebody tell me you're so smart."
Yeah.
Damn, I'm like, I have a 4 year bachelor's degree, like, like I'm not stupid, like, but I use that to my advantage, like where I'm like, you know what? Hey, I open my mouth, and it's not just about me; it's about what I can do for you.
Yeah.
Where I can get you, where I can build you to, and then people they love it, So I use that to my advantage, and I think if every woman that was an Instagram model started doing what I do,
or even doing something
or something similar,
but
I
will say
mean,
that's one of the downfalls of social media, long-term downfalls of social media, because we're especially younger generation, because we're old enough to remember time before social media, but it's like there's somebody that can possibly change the world in 20 years, but right now they're on Instagram, TikTok, being a kid, but there's a record of it. So now in 20 years, when this person has moved so far past that, and maybe went off to get education, or went off to get knowledge, and is running for some major office or something, somebody's gonna pull a 20-year-old TikTok up, as opposed to hell, Malcolm X. If Malcolm X had a TikTok when he was Detroit Red, it's like, would he ever become Malcolm X? Because it's like you outgrow your past, and it's like, so even Maya Angelou, these are two for example. When they were 21, they were doing wild stuff. Maya Angelou was.
Because I tell you what, my Facebook memories, every time that pop up, I'm like, I posted that. Delete. I don't want nobody to see it.
To your credit, though, I will say, even when you were modeling or Instagram model, you always kept something to the imagination.
Right.
I've seen, and no shade to anybody, because I love everybody, but I've seen women, they've given it all up, they've busted it open, and it's like they left nothing to the imagination, nothing to be denied. So even if someone did pull up on your Facebook memories from 15, 20 years ago, it's still, all right, she was just, plus the quality wasn't as good 20 years ago.
It sure wasn't. It was a little fuzzy.
So
you can't see nothing anyway.
We got like, what's that, reasonable doubt. Like, hey, I don't know what the fuck that was, but
that wasn't me.
That wasn't me. Even if some of the stuff I did, and we had social media, it's like I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things because we just didn't record it.
Yeah.
And even sometimes now there's gonna be some people that look at me doing this and trying to do interviews and put out inspiration. They're still gonna bring up, hey, you shot this porn star 5 years ago. Who cares? And like, why do we have to be monolithic?
I mean, and I tell people, once again, new entrepreneurs, who cares? That's gonna be your motto.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be the motto, the word of the day. When people start doubting what it is that you can do, who cares? Because when you start your business, right, that's the vision that you have.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody to see. If it was, God would have gave them that vision as well.
Yeah.
But he didn't, for a very specific reason. So never think about what everybody else is going to think.
Yeah.
Don't listen to, it's saturated. They say credit repair is saturated. Hey, I started after, all the big names was out there, right?
Yeah.
I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Why? Because my clientele is my clientele, and I know that the services that I provide is very much so different.
Yeah.
I've spoken to plenty of other credit repair people. They like, I don't want to talk to my clients.
Yeah.
I love talking to my clients. They have my number. They call me. Trust me, they call me. My call log wasn't going past. My call log wasn't going past like 3 days at one point. And I don't mind it because sometimes my clients need to vent. Yeah. And like I said, there's a direct correlation with your mental state and your finances. So I need to be there because I know that you probably don't have anybody else there to talk to. You may have just
at least somebody that doesn't knows about money.
Right.
I will say, every time I've had a financial dip, whether it's credit or whatever, if I really think back to the time, I either lost somebody or something major happened. It's like my mental just wasn't there to keep up with like what's on my credit, even though it's something I should do. But it's like when you even last year, it's anybody that knows me, especially close to me, I lost 4 really close people back to back, like month after month after month. Like I was in funerals from freaking August to literally 2 days before Christmas. Every month I was preparing for a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And even it's like a small tangent, but it's like I'm really just now getting back to in tune to waking up and getting out of that shape, because even during that time, the only thing I knew how to do was work. Like, and I like and for me it's different levels of work. It's taking clients, but I was reaching out and shooting people just to not think about it.
Yes.
And I'm really just recently really taking time to get back to Kevin, and it's like, no, like even my lady, I was talking to her, my girl I'm dating, I was talking to her, and she was like, man, babe, what do you feel like shooting? And it was the first time I was honest. I was like, nothing. And
I just want to sit here.
I just want to sit here. I just want to breathe. And it's like, and I tell people I know I'll be back, but that's why your mental health is important when it comes to finances, relationships, all this.
And let me tell you, I've had clients. I have so many stories. By the way, we have over 600 clients at this point. It might be at 700 at this point, but I've had clients where in the middle of their credit repair, something major happened. Yeah. Where they lost a family member or something of that nature, or even lost jobs. And they called me like, hey, Bianca, I'm so sorry to do this, but I got a lot going on. I cannot mentally take, they make it like they have to focus on their credit. They don't. And I have to remind them, I got you. I understand. I'm sorry you lost somebody, but what I don't want you to do is give up on your credit. And then when you're out of this, you looking up and you feel even more depressed, right? Yeah. Because damn, I should have kept going with this, or I should have. So look, I got you. You take the time you need. You don't have to do anything. We'll make sure that your credit is where it needs to be, and we'll update you every single month. Yeah. If you got questions, call me. If you just need to vent, call me. Yeah. But what I want you to do before you fall into, the grieving phases, is I want you to put all of your credit cards on auto pay for the minimum balance. Yeah. That's it. I'm here to make sure that your finances are good as well as your mental state. But before you fall into the grieving stage of not caring, because you care right now, that's why you're calling me. Yeah. I'm going to sit on this phone with you while you put everything on auto pay. Yeah. Now you can relax, because now they're going to take that little $25 every month from that credit card. Or hey, the car payment is on auto pay because you're still working, you're still getting paid, right? So put it on auto pay. And I cannot tell you how that has impacted my clients. And all they do is just thank me. Thank you for helping me through this. Because remember, I got up to 12 months with you. Yeah. Me and my clients dang near become family. Yeah. I got clients that call me sis or cuz.
I ain't gonna lie. If you know my credit and you know my finances, we family.
Oh yeah, this personal.
This blood in, blood out.
We locked in at this point.
We locked in. You know too much information about me. It's no. But I'm happy that you actually do care and take that time. And it's like, because a lot of people do treat you like a number. Yeah. And they, like a lot of credit, especially, no shade to anybody specific, because I don't know, but a lot of people do treat you like a number, like you just irritating me. It's like, even though you say you heard some people say, I want to talk to my clients, and it's like, and that's why I say, I see that in you, and it's like, because you enjoy helping people. And
that's my love language.
Yes.
Acts of service. So.
Acts of service, even though I will say, this is a friend tangent. You may not, you don't always answer the phone every time I call, and I don't get mad about it, but you somehow manage to answer the phone on the days I need you most. Like, I don't know who it was. I literally lost somebody, and mind you, she had to answer the phone because she's busy, and that's not shading my friend at all. Yeah. But she had to answer the phone. But the day I needed somebody to like be on the phone and cry with, this motherfucker answered the phone. I was proud she answered the phone. I was just calling. I was, when you going through, you just reaching out. I'm like, people that you want to talk to. And it's like, you was
Yeah.
on my list of people on it. I'm like, oh shit, she answered the phone. I think I told you. It's like, hey, if you don't answer no over the phone, no other days, you nigga, you answer the phone on the right day. So that's like you said, God gives you visions, and it's like that's one of your gifts and your visions.
Yeah.
Even it's like with what you're doing with your business, and even where you plan on going. Mm-hmm. God give you a vision. It's like my mom told me a long time ago when I was doing another venture that the people I had with me didn't necessarily see what I was talking about, and she told me simple: no one sees the vision like the visionary.
Correct.
It's no one else's job to see your vision. It's no one else's job to build your vision. Sometimes you have to build it and show people like, this is what I was talking about. You see? Boom. Bluprint Solutions. All them days I couldn't answer your phone calls, I was building this.
So we can do this.
So we can do this.
Yes.
But so that's something that a lot of people don't really see. It's like, as an entrepreneur, you really have to have that vision and go hard with it.
You do.
And it's like, I've seen you grow with it, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Like I said, I remember when you hit me, I want to start a business. It's like, I was like, I don't think you ever followed up, but I was just like, all right, well, I was there, but
I was trying to find my way.
And it's like, and sometimes
I mean, we can still do it now. I mean, look,
we still.
I got
shit, I'm still down. I'm still in the game, baby. I'm still up for it. But that's why I say sometimes God will put that little thing in you, just to see. Even it's like, what's the quote? It's in Matthew somewhere. Faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. Mm-hmm. It's like, you got to have faith in yourself, and sometimes people don't have faith in themselves, and it's like, or you need people around you to have faith in you. Even like your mentor, Chris, he called you 11 o'clock. Hey, get up. Let's get active. And we ain't doing it in the morning or when you quit your job. Okay, cool. Let's get to work. Sometimes you need that person to push. Mm-hmm. But,
because he is to me who I am to my clients. Yeah. And it is very important. I mean, because you can do it on your own, right? Yeah. You did it on your own, right? And you're very successful. And I'm a product of somebody who didn't do it on her own. I had a mentor, right? Yeah. I would say having a mentor can excel you a lot faster than doing it by yourself. Obviously, your mentor has to be somebody who is grounded, right? Yeah. It has to be somebody who really cares, because it's not just about making a quick buck, right? Yeah. It's also about like your mental state. So, always having a mentor, I would say me having a mentor is why my business has generated $500,000 in 18 months.
Talk your talk, sis. Sorry. I almost gave me a word out. I'm from the church. I almost got them start shouting. But really and truly, I just sound from the church and curse in the same sentence.
Oh Lord,
my heart. He know my heart.
I know your heart. He know it too.
But
but no, a mentor, a really good, solid mentor, will help you with that. And with my mentees, they call me with all types of stuff. Like I have 3 currently, where I'm there 24/7, right? I don't care what it is. When I start seeing them fall a little bit, we have meetings together every Mondays and Wednesdays, and I'd be like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. And we're so transparent with one another, right? Even when I'm not feeling it, I tell my mentees, this month is rough. Yeah. I'm not feeling it. I'm not 100% there.
You need that community.
Yeah, I built that community. And so my mentees I'll be like, hey, what's going on with you? Mm-hmm. And, for example, he was like, man, B, I don't know. He said, I don't know why. I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. I went down the list. What's going on personal? What's going on financially? What's going on here? We had to identify why you are feeling this way. Mm. And once we identified what the issue was, okay, come on, let's work with it. Yeah, is it just that you're not understanding the new process and the new systems? Yeah. Is it just that, you might have girlfriend problems or problems with your kids or something like that? What is it? And a good mentor will do that. Yeah. Because once you get out of that mind frame, I call it survival mode. Yeah. Once you're able to get out of survival mode, you can see things a lot clearer.
Yeah.
But we got to solve what your main issue is first.
Yeah.
And that is why I ask my clients what their goal is.
Yeah.
And ask them how they feeling.
Yeah, even mental health. It's like sometimes it's when you hit a loss or lose your job or something, you naturally go into survival mode, and it's like you literally doing enough to survive. You've given a lot of information from credit repair to mental health to everything. What's one last piece of advice you'll give to anybody that's starting out as an entrepreneur or starting a business?
Just start.
Okay.
Don't overthink it. Just start. You're never gonna have all the answers, Sway. You don't have all.
You ain't got the answers, Sway.
You ain't gonna have all the answers. Don't wait for the stars to align and an eclipse to happen, and it's not gonna be this magical moment where you have all the answers. Just start. I didn't know all the answers when I started my business. I was scared as hell on my first consultation. Am I gonna mess up? That's a whole nother conversation. But just start. You're gonna learn along the way, and then as you're learning and you progress, you'll start to scale, and then you'll think back like, you know what, I can do this different. Always have an open mind to change. Like I said, I started credit repair, and there's so many other people that have credit repair businesses, but the way that I go about it is a little different. I look at the mental health side versus just the finances. So just start.
That's perfect. And I'm going to end it with this quote that I look up because I'm all about the quotables. It goes, "The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you're not going to stay where you are," by J.P. Morgan.
Yes.
So pretty much just start. And that has been an episode of How Do We Get Here with my beautiful guest, Bianca Garrett. Let them know your information, where they can find you.
You can call me at 313-885-8645 or visit us at bluprintservices.com. And that's blue without the E because we already know we excellent. So bluprintservices.com.
All right. Subscribe, stay tuned. Appreciate you, comment, like, all that. We out.